and I get an incoming email from this great American psychotic named Carl. And Carl writes me 1 to 3 times a year, and we have gentle discussions / debates about gun law and gun control in America. And he's always quick to remind me that Americans have the right to bear arms. And I gently remind Carl that he does not actually have the right to bear arms. He's permitted to bear arms. You have the right to free speech. You have the right to an education. But you don't have the right to drive. It's a permit. And you have the right to bear arms. If you drive your prom date into the tree and kill her, they take your license away. And if you did it drunk, they take you away. And if you go Columbine with your gun, guess what? It all comes to an end. And so I said, Carl, you don't have the right to bear arms. Get that through your head and let's go from there. And so he just gives me that 101, Americans need to have guns to fend off the danger from the Islamophobia. I'm like, God, I'm so sick of this bullshit because it never leads anywhere. So there's a point to this. So on this day, Carl writes me about, his paranoia of me being in Johannesburg, a guy who's not speaking from experience, just from what he hears on the TV. And he writes me easily his best paranoid letter ever. It's a great one. So I write him back, and I'm so tickled by my reply that I have my road manager print out his letter to me and my letter back to him, and I'm determined to read both of them to my wonderful audience in Johannesburg that night. And so I do the show, and I said, here's what an American thinks of you. And the audience is fantastic. They're an amazing crowd. And so I read my letter, from Carl, and then my letter to Carl. Now, at least 1 or 5 of you are a little curious as to what the contents of those 2 letters were. Well, let's see if I can find this. Oh, look, my prop. This is what's called prop-driven humor. There it is. This is my carrot top moment. Okay, so let's see. Was that a little below the belt? Sorry. Anyway, here's the letter from Carl. Hello, Henry. I don't know if you'll get this prior to going there, but please watch out for your personal safety in South Africa. You joke around a lot about your fame or lack thereof. But if I were as famous as you are and going there, I'd hire a well-trained and well-armed security group of ex-military men to accompany me. I'm not sure if you've changed your view on personal ownership of and self-defense using firearms. I understand why you hate them, but I personally refuse to blame a tool for the way it is used. And if you think I'm being a worrier or overly paranoid, car-mounted and portable briefcase flamethrowers, in uppercase, are legal there for normal folk who can afford it, trying to foil carjackers and kidnappers. Be safe, Carl. Which basically the subtext is, be angry, be afraid, judge people by what you see on TV, don't go anywhere, and live underneath a xenophobic rock of fear and get old really fast and hate your fucking existence. Can't do it. Anyway, Carl, we have hired 30 armed security for the day in Johannesburg. I know some might think it's a bit much, but it's worth it. We have 9 tanks, overhead support of 2 Apache gunships. We will have 3 tigers and 2 old ladies disguised as old ladies to take care of any old ladies who try to attack. So, don't worry. I think we have the ride from the airport to the venue covered. Now, for the show, the only people in the audience will be the security personnel and the workers who are on break. They'll be working in shifts, digging a tunnel from the venue to the airport to get me back there with a minimum of fatalities. We're basically using the same plan we used in Cleveland, Ohio last year, which seemed a bit extreme at the time, but in light of all the events that night, we probably could have used some more tigers. Thanks for your concern, Carl. You're a good American. P.S. These colors don't run. So that's what happened. Now, thank you.